Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Luis Portelles, and for today's video, we have a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. And now today's video is very special because I have the beautiful Megan Digal. She is one of the candidates of Miss Universe Philippines 2021, and she is representing for Bukidnon. As usual, I am more than thrilled to present to you the conversation that we had about so many topics, from Megan being a beach babe to her living in Thailand to some of the challenges that she had to face within the competition, and most importantly, standing for herself and her very relevant advocacy. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you do, please don't forget to leave a like on the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And most importantly, please go ahead and support Megan on her social media. Show her some love if you enjoy our conversation. So I won't keep you waiting for too long, everyone. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I will meet you with Megan right after the intro.
Be strong.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. And just like I promised you, here I have the beautiful, the stunning Megan Digal. How are you doing, my dear?
Hola todos. Hola Luis. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us. And when I saw that you accepted the interview, I was just like so happy because I've been wanting to meet you for a while. So it's such an honor to have you here with us.
So am I. When I knew that you were inviting me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's the Luis Portelles. Oh my
Oh.
goodness. I have to take it.
You're the sweetest. So, well, first of all, before we get into anything about this interview, the first thing I have to tell you is congratulations, girl, because you officially made it to the top 30. How do you feel
Yeah.
about it?
I couldn't believe it, honestly, because everybody is just so amazing. There's like from 100 girls to 75 and then 250, and now I'm here in the final 30. I'm just super grateful. I'm so excited.
Honestly, you deserve it. You've been working so hard for this entire competition. Like you said, I feel like it's hard because there were like 100 candidates, and it was like 100 amazing, beautiful girls, talented, with so many,
Indeed.
qualities.
So much
Exactly.
amazing stories to tell, and I didn't even know that I would make it here. So this is a very amazing opportunity, worth all the sacrifices and the things that I left behind in Thailand. Thank
I know, I know. Well, you definitely earned your position here. You deserve it. And I'm more than happy for you and so proud of you as well.
you so much.
So let's see where to start. So can you tell us a little bit what was your first reaction in the first place when the top 100 was announced and you found out that you made it into the top 100 at that point?
So I would never forget that time. I was still surfing. I was still in Phuket when
Mhm.
it happened. And it wasn't on my mind because I submitted my application like a little while back then, and I didn't know that they were going to announce it that day already. It was already out of my mind.
Yeah.
And then after I served, I just went to check my phone and I was like, why am I getting so many notifications? Why is everybody suddenly calling me? And then I just saw my friend saying, oh my God, you sent an application for Miss Universe Philippines. And because I didn't tell anybody, just in case I wouldn't make it or anything, so that yeah, no one would say anything. But then I did. So I was really surprised too, but I was jumping for joy at the beach and everyone was like, what is going on with her? And then from then I was just taking calls from my family and then telling everyone, yeah, I decided to try my luck and apply. And I think that would be the best time for me to finally carry out the cause that I've been having in my heart for a long time.
Oh my goodness. And you didn't tell anyone. Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think I
only
only told a
imagine.
few people, around 5, before, like my mom, my aunt, and 2 of my friends. My friend who pushed me to join and to just try my luck, because honestly, at first I was doubtful I would make it because there are so many beautiful girls in the Philippines, so many pageant veterans, and so many crown-worthy ladies, as you can see right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you made it. And oh my God, I can only imagine the mix of emotions that were going through your mind at that point.
I can imagine it.
Is this something that you have considered for quite some time, or was it like a last minute decision to join this pageant?
It's always been just a dream. Whenever I see people competing in Miss Universe or Miss Universe Philippines, I was like, oh, I wish I could be one of those girls someday. But I don't really know because with the standards that we have, us countries that are diehard pageant fans, as you know, in the Philippines, we have very high standards when it comes to beauty queens and beauty pageants.
Mhm.
So honestly, at first, I didn't know that I would make it to that, to be on the same level with all those beautiful women. So it's really such an honor.
Oh, she's a humble girl. Because she's a humble girl. She looks, I mean, you look stunning. You have everything
Oh
that,
no, thank you.
yeah,
No, really, because I am really just a simple girl. I like living on the island or the provincial life, those kinds of things.
yeah.
The glitz and the glam, yeah, it's very nice every now and then, but I would admit I like just to be comfortable, not combing my hair or putting on too much makeup.
Yeah, I definitely get that. But it's a good thing that you decided to go a little bit out of your comfort zone and trying something new.
Yeah,
Because
that,
definitely this is something, like regardless of the outcome of the competition, something that you will be able to tell like generations to come, like in your family. Yeah.
yeah.
So
This is something
cool.
I would definitely tell my grandkids if I would have some.
Definitely. So, okay, so you made it into the top 100. I mean, all of those emotions were going on. You told your friends and family. What was your reaction when you find out that we had this new system of the fan vote? And also when they started announcing like the candidates, like you said, we have a lot of fresh faces in the competition, but we also have some veterans and some people that are known and established within different industries. What was your first impression of that?
My first impression was, wow, I'm going to be in the same competition with these girls, these amazing girls who I can just not wait to meet, because everybody knows them, and I'm honestly also fangirling. So I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I mean, the experience itself is already a very big thing, that you would forget that you're actually competing for a crown. And then, yeah, I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, what's meant to be for you will be for you. So bring it on, bring all these fan vote things. And I know that I have a lot of people who will support me, but also I just really don't care if I top the fan votes or not. I was just really up there to enjoy the experience and to be able to spark conversations on my cause, which is very close to my heart, that I will share with you later.
Yes, absolutely. We have some questions about that as well. Very nice. So obviously, I mean, going through all of this, right? Finding about the candidates, the fan votes, it's all an experience. And like you said, sometimes you don't have you don't have
Yes.
control of a lot of things because precisely um, it's outside of the things that you can manage, right? The
Yeah.
best you can do is just bring your A game at all times and hope for the best. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that was like the risky zone within the it's like the first top 100, top 75, top 50, because it was
Yeah.
really up to the fans. Now that you have secured a place within the competition, the top 30, looking forward, what is your mindset for the remaining part of the competition?
So now that I'm here, I'm just reminding myself to, first of all, enjoy the experience, and at the same time to give my best. And it's like a balance between the two. I'm the person who is very spontaneous and just happy-go-lucky, living the island life for a long time. I'm that kind of very relaxed person. And like you said, I don't pay much attention to the things that I cannot control. So I just learned to make the most and the best out of the situation that I am in,
Mhm.
but at the same time, not forgetting that I'm here to bring pride to my province of Bukidnon. And since it's our first time to have an entry to Miss Universe Philippines, so this is very exciting for all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to put on a good show and try to fight a good fight.
I admire and I respect that, perspective and that point of view in life, because it doesn't matter in which scenario they put you, like what
Yeah,
circumstance, you will always excel because you have this vibe of just like easygoing and just bring the best you can and then the rest will come with time. So I like
yeah,
that.
yes.
Perfect. So Now, let's talk a little bit about you as a person. So let's imagine that some of my viewers have been living under a rock. They have not been following the candidates. How will you introduce yourself in a few words to someone who has no idea of who you are as a person?
So, hello, everybody. I am Megan Digal. I am 25 years old from the province of Bukidnon. I worked for 3 years as a marketing and communications coordinator at a hotel in Phuket, Thailand. So, I've been living the island life there for a while, and I haven't been home since. So, I just got home because of Miss Universe Philippines. And yeah, basically, I would be what you call an island girl and Bukid babe. So Bukid means like mountains for us. So that explains why I am very laid back. I like to just chill. I'm a very chill person. I love to surf and I love to sing too.
That's so cool. I was just thinking of your introduction video as you were describing that, and all of those elements made your introduction video. So very, very good.
Yeah, I just wanted to really showcase who I am in my introduction video and my very chill lifestyle. At that time, I didn't have a lot of resources because I was alone. I was in Phuket. I just had to tap some of my friends who were very kind to help me with it. So that was also my way of showing them how grateful I am to have been accepted into their community, even if I am Filipino and I'm like it's a totally blended community there, and the Thais, they just accepted me and they treated me like their own, and it's something that I am very grateful for.
Oh, such a beautiful story. And I can relate to that being an immigrant myself. I know what it feels like. So good for you. Um, so obviously you were born and raised in the Philippines, then you moved to Thailand for some time. Have you visited other countries besides that?
um I have only been around Southeast Asia, so I haven't really been around the world yet, but that is my dream. I've only been to Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, what else? And then Thailand. I think that's it. That's about it.
Global travel. I mean, for my standards, I've only been to Cuba and Canada, girl. So
Yeah.
yes, that's good. What is something that you have learned, let's say like that you have taken from those cultures and those countries that you have visited so far?
Yeah, it really opened my mind to so many things that I didn't see before. So I would really encourage people to go out of their comfort zone and travel because it educates you a lot.
Yeah.
Before I went out of the Philippines, I didn't really appreciate myself that much. But once I moved to a diverse area where there's a lot of different cultures coming together, I learned to appreciate myself more. I used to think that I was really ugly, but then I think it was just not up to the standards of the environment where I lived in. I think it's very nice to to hear from other people for them to say that, oh my god, your tan skin is amazing, and I'm like, what? Growing up, I've been scrubbing myself, I've been wanting to lighten my skin, but then when I moved out there and I embraced the island life, the surfing lifestyle and all that, I learned to love myself as I am. And I also learned to see the beauty in everything and in everyone. That's how I got to see like, oh, we're all beautiful, we are all unique in our own ways. And just because something is not considered to be beautiful for some people doesn't mean that it really is not, because it's a matter of perspective and just opinions. Neither is right or wrong.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to appreciate everything. And I just think the way that I think now, that everything that's meant to be will be, and we just have to be grateful and learn to make the best out of the situation.
I love that. I feel like traveling, it's really one of the best ways to open up your mind and see other
Yeah.
things. And with
Yeah.
that, not only see things, but also take things from elements from different cultures and different perspectives and just build your own, your identity.
Yes,
Not just like
absolutely. That is
having
right.
one mindset or the other one. It's just like I build my own, and then yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Encourage
Also,
everybody to get out there. see the world.
Sure. For sure. Everyone go whenever you can, whenever it's possible. I mean,
Yeah,
not right
once
now,
COVID
but
is gone, yeah.
try to travel, even if it's like within the country. Sometimes you
Then
can
it
discover a
really,
lot.
yeah, correct.
So another thing that we can learn with traveling is that we get to appreciate a little bit more of our culture, our roots.
Yes.
What is it something about the Philippines that you have a new, say, appreciation for now that you have this experience?
Um, Something from the Philippines. First of all, the food. I really missed the food. When I was in Thailand for 3 years, I would always be looking for Filipinos who cooked Filipino food because my favorite food is, do you know lechon?
Mhm.
Lechon is like the roast pig. But once I learned that there was somebody making that in Phuket, I immediately went to order it. And then there are some Filipinos too who are um, importing some stuff from the Philippines, like chips and all those kinds of Filipino snacks. I would always buy from them because I'm a hungry person, so I love to eat, and Filipino food is something that always reminds me of home. And of course, the traditions that we have, like Christmas and gatherings with the family, those things I got to appreciate them more because we're being in a place where they're not really Catholic. We are in the Philippines. We are predominantly Catholic and Christian, so
Yes.
we pay Christmas is a big deal for us and for our families. And having been away for 3 years and not experiencing all that, it made me kind of sad and homesick. So now I'm really looking forward to the holiday season and getting to spend it with my family again.
That's gonna be a lot of fun for sure, and and after such a long time, especially. And
Yeah.
but what we were saying about the food, oh my God, that is so true. I actually, one of my subscribers, she lives here in Montreal, and she was kind enough. She reached to me like through Instagram, and she was
Uh-huh.
like, "What is your address? I want to send you some
Oh
food.
my God, she sent you food. That's amazing. Those
Send me
people are
some
the best.
lechon." It was like some of the best food that I've ever had. And it's actually very similar with Cuban food as well. So I was like very shocked, but it's like a different flavor, different touch. But it
I want
was
to
like
try.
amazing. So
What was your favorite so far? What kind of Filipino food is your favorite?
100%, no bias. Lechon is like hands down, like
Yeah, lechon. Yeah, team lechon all the way.
so right now you know that you are a little bit more in the public eye, of course, because of the competition. Is there
Yeah.
something that you feel like people have not seen from you just yet, or maybe like a misconception about you?
I don't know, maybe I think they are yet to see my very laid back side. When I say laid back, it's not just like really like okay, slightly laid back, but I am really laid back. Like this is totally not me. The Megan that you see on stage and on maybe on social media, the very made up one with the makeup and the hair and the outfits is very different from the actual me. It's almost like my alter ego. So you would probably see me after the pageant just walking around and eating street food. I don't know, I really like to just go about being a normal person. I actually don't like having a lot of attention, but also I know that it's part it's part of the pageant, and yeah, this is what I signed up for, so
Exactly.
bring it on.
But it's a good thing that you have that switch, that whenever you need to be
Yeah.
like 100%, then you can deliver. Whenever you just have to, be laid back and be yourself, you can also do that.
Yeah.
You get the
Yeah,
best
that's
of both worlds.
yeah, that's true. Best of both worlds would be the best way to describe that.
Well, the best of the two universe, rather. Not just charot.
Oh, did you just say charot? Do you know some Filipino charot too or other expressions?
Of course, I have a bunch of Filipino friends and they keep me updated with all the good words.
That's great.
For sure. It's so much fun. Is this, Megan, your first pageant?
First national, yeah. I used to join like small ones a few ones back in the I am already in the Philippines. I forgot.
In your opinion, what is something that you have learned from all of those previous experiences that made you want to join this one?
Oh, so yeah. What made me want to be here is to speak for what I believe in when it comes to pageants. Because before I used to always complain internally to myself, why are pageants this and that? Why do you get judged so much based on your physical appearance?
Mm.
And sometimes I used to think that pageants are usually just looking for one standard, like a certain mold. But I am very fortunate to be here now and to be part of Miss Universe Philippines, which has been more inclusive, which is kind of in line with the purpose, with the cause that I am fighting for. So I think in a way, it's my way of sparking conversations and increasing more awareness toward how pageants can become more diverse and more inclusive and to be able to appreciate the different kinds of beauties of Filipinas and women.
Absolutely. I share your opinion with you because I used to have a very narrow-minded vision or perception of what a pageant was, especially because I mean I come from Cuba and Cuba pageants are non-existent. I think that Cuba participates in two pageants internationally, and like the candidates very often don't even live in Cuba. So people from the country are not really exposed to it. And in Canada, the pageant system, although we, have candidates that go to Miss Universe and all of these big pageants, it's not within the culture of the country.
Mhm.
So the perception they have is just very superficial about like the physique and judging the girls, which in reality, when you take the time to look into it and see what are the criteria of different pageants, it's really not about just that, right? Yeah, there is a side of physical aspect, but there's also a lot of, the advocacies, inclusion and representing, giving like a bigger platform. So very nice.
Absolutely. And I'm just so glad that pageants nowadays are evolving.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
very great to be a part of that.
And very necessary as well to keep up with the times, and keep people
Yes.
interested and engaged with the pageant. So good. Um, Were you, I mean, from 1 to 10, how confident were you about getting within the top 30?
If I am to be very honest, I would be around 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah. Because
How
as I said
come?
before, um, even getting into the top 100 was already a big deal to me because I know that a lot of girls have signed up for it, and there are so many pageant veterans and girls who are already very crown worthy. So I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if I didn't make it. But to be here, it's such an honor. So I promise to make the best out of it.
Yes, absolutely. From my perspective, I had a feeling that you were going to make it because when you make like videos on social media and you post like so many things about pageants, I also have a lot of people who message me, and you get to get like a global perception of who the people are rooting for, who they're looking after. Sometimes even when you make videos, like the fans, they DM you and they're like, oh, you mentioned this girl, I really like her. Oh, why didn't you mention this girl? I really like her. So I knew that there was something going on for you. And we actually have a few friends in common, and I know how happy and how excited people were for you to have this opportunity because they know you on a personal level. And I mean, honestly, they know that you're a great
Oh,
person and that you are deserving of this. So so
thank
so
you. It's
happy.
very kind and very sweet of you.
Yes, absolutely. And lately, you actually had a few victories within the pageant. Of course, not only making it to the top 30, but you also made it to top 7 for the interview challenge. How was that
I didn't
experience?
expect that too. Yeah, to be very honest with you, I was kind of sad after my interview. I didn't
Oh,
talk about it with anybody. Everybody was asking, "Oh, how did your interview go?" And I was like, "Oh, I could have done so much better," because at that time I was really, really nervous. If you were if you were there with me, you could hear my heart almost beating out of my chest. And I just didn't know what I was saying anymore. But after I just knew that I could have done so much better than that. It's
mhm.
just that I was very overwhelmed when I saw that, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people. And I mean, it's the panel who were there on the Zoom meeting. Like the entire screen would be like there are so many different blocks because like literally everyone from the Miss Universe Philippines organization was there, and even the reigning queen Rabia was there too. So I kind of was shocked. I
Okay.
didn't prepare myself for that. So I was just like, okay, just say whatever the first thing is that comes into your mind. And
Oh,
then I didn't say a word about interview to anybody. I just avoided the question. I was like, okay, can you just please let me relax? Let's just talk about it later. And I was so scared to see the interview on YouTube because I didn't want to see myself.
Oh, really?
there. Yeah, but
Oh,
I was just so relieved after that, hearing things from my family. Like when they said that I did well, I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you, God.
yeah, but honestly, that's one of the things that I was going to ask you because when you look at your interview, you just look like so um confident.
For my job, just so I could get back here. So I had to take care of my last few days at work and handing over things to my colleagues. And then also I was trying to pack my stuff up and settling the rent with my landlord because we have this contract and I had to end it. So there were so many things going on, and at the same time I had to juggle that with doing my requirements for Miss Universe Philippines. At that time it was not just the tourism video, there were other things like the runway casting, among other things that we have already submitted. But that part, I think the tourism video was one of the most challenging parts
Mhm.
since I am not in the Philippines at the time that we were doing it. And I knew that everybody was going to showcase their hometowns, and they were going to be there, running in the landscapes that their hometowns are proud of. So for my side, I was just thinking, okay, how do I bring Bukidnon to life in Phuket, in Thailand? So I
Yes.
was just thinking, okay, mountains. What else do we have? One thing I love about Bukidnon are horses. I love to ride horses. So immediately I was trying to coordinate things by myself in there. I called to see if there was a place where we could rent or ride a horse. And fortunately there was. And so I brought along a videographer with me. He is Thai. His name is Spy. Hello, if you're watching. So we went together, just the two of us, to film the horse riding scenes. And then yeah, there was this, a part of me also there that I was somewhere in a grassy area
Yeah.
wearing some Bukidnon accessories. That was not really the proper Bukidnon costume. I couldn't get it at that time because due to the very limited time, I couldn't get a proper costume shipped to Thailand. So I was very lucky that I had a friend from the same province who was in Bangkok at that time, or somewhere, no, sorry, in the north of Thailand. His
Mhm.
name is Sir Bobby. So thank you so much to Sir Bobby for lending me the costume and the accessories. Actually, that costume that he lent me was for men, and I don't think it was, but that was the least that we had, and I was just making the most out of what I had in that situation. So I was like, okay, whatever we have, this will do. So I
Yeah.
had to, I wore all that and then we shot all that. And we were also very lucky that I got in touch with one of the great videographers in Bukidnon. His name is Bon. So he was the one who put together the aerial shots and the different shots of Bukidnon that we just mixed up with what I have shot while I was in Phuket to make it look like I was there
Yeah.
without actually having to be there. And
You
also I
know,
have to acknowledge that the clips were already pre-made. Those clips were somewhat borrowed from attorney John Flores in Bukidnon. So he really had a production team do all that for a promotional video that he did for Bukidnon before that. And then we just borrowed that one and put it together.
oh my God. You know, if you wouldn't have told me that, like I wouldn't have known. Maybe because well, I'm not from the Philippines, so sometimes like some of like the typical traditional references, I don't get them yet. But honestly, the level of like professionalism of that video was just remarkable. So just props to you. And that's actually one of the things that I like to acknowledge, like publicly when I do these interviews, because people don't talk about it enough. It's to the extent like how far beauty queens go sometimes to make these things, a reality, to make the videos and the challenges and the dresses and the costumes happen, how much work it takes, not only like from your time and all, but sometimes like money, like financial resources, things that you have to compromise. For example, you were telling me about resigning to your job and dealing with the
Yeah.
landlord as well. Honestly, props to you. And I just hope that everyone watching they think about these things, you know, when we are presented like a final product, everyone is quick to say like, oh, I like this, or I don't like that, or this and that, but you don't know sometimes the struggle behind each one of these pieces that we are presented. So
Yeah, I think that's what makes this journey for me extra special is the things that happened behind the scenes. So it's a really this story is a really great story to tell to my kids and my grandkids in the future. It's really a story about persistence and resilience. So it's something that I'm already very proud of, crown or no crown.
yes, exactly. As I always say on my interviews, when life gives you lemons, you have to make lemonade.
Yeah.
And this lemonade is very tasty. You did amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Right now, what would you say if you think of the challenges that you've made so far that you have completed, which one would you say was the most difficult and why?
Out of all, I think it's the tourism video
Yeah.
because of the technicalities and having to incorporate everything from my hometown while not actually being there.
Mhm.
It was the hardest. And the editing process, it's because I am not physically there with the editor, although they did a great job, but I think it's really nice when you collaborate and it's all easy for you, all of you to meet up when you are in the same place. And I must add that the voiceover was something that I recorded while I was in quarantine at 4 a.m. because that's the time when the internet was a bit more stable at my quarantine hotel. Other
Uh-huh.
than that, and that's how I could send the files to my video editor to do that. So I really had to wake up. No, not wake up. I stayed up very late. I slept at around 5 a.m. to be able to send it.
The
I
commitment.
recorded, I recorded and pretty much recorded and wrote the monologue there the same day. So it was pretty much what I just felt about my hometown at that time, the longing that I have because for 3 years I haven't been home. So I just poured my feelings into it and just being the very spontaneous person that I am. So I just put it there together.
You can definitely feel the emotional, you know, aspect of it when you listen to it. I was actually, once again, just before the interview, I was listening to all of the videos that you have put out so far. Um, the, um, the introduction video, the one for the casting video, the tourism video. And for the tourism, I was like, this feels like therapy. Like I could listen to her voice and I would just feel better because you can
Oh,
feel like
thank
the
you.
passion.
So sweet
For
of
sure.
you.
Um, okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a word, and you tell me how do you feel about it, and if you identify with it. Well, actually, it's two words, to be fair.
Okay. Okay.
So, what does it mean for you, the terms dark horse?
Dark horse.
Is it good or bad?
Yeah, it's good. It means like it's totally unexpected. And being the very unpredictable person that I am, I could relate so much to that. Sometimes people underestimate me and they don't know the story behind me that actually makes me stronger than I actually seem. And
Yeah.
even my dad, just we were just talking about this yesterday. He said that he was always very worried about me, but then he told me that I am actually a lot stronger than he thought I was. And I just told him, yo, dad, don't underestimate me. So,
Mhm.
uh-uh. So he said he's less worried now. I mean, as a parent, he said that he would always worry, but not as much as he used to anymore because he knew that I'm so much stronger than he thought
Yeah.
I would.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, this is truly like a learning experience, like a growing up experience as well. Like, and the
Yeah,
fun fact is that you get to show it to your friends, family, and you know, they see a side of you that family
that
doesn't
I
always
didn't
have
know was
access.
there before. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Very cool. So you mentioned earlier that yes, you have met some of the other candidates so far in the competition. Have you been able to bond with some of them? Like, have you developed like a close friendship with some of them?
Yeah, yes, totally. Especially the girls who I am on the same camp with,
Yeah.
Grace Vindiola, Miss Negros Oriental. Yeah, we've been hanging
Awesome.
out the last days because we lived in the same condo unit, and then also now we are still in the same building. So last night we were watching Gone Girl, and we've been like
Oh,
cooking for each other. And yeah, in the camp too, I've been hanging out with Princess Singh of Pasig,
Yeah.
Ayin Bernaus, who else? Jan Abejero of Reina Mercedes Isabella, and Janela Quaton. Yeah, she's also very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. There's so many girls that I've already met, and I'm just so glad, so excited to share the sisterhood with all of them. They're super duper nice.
If I was tell you to, by the way, I love all of the girls that you just mentioned. Some of them I had the opportunity to interview already. Some of them I've been like in touch with through DMs and all of that. So you are well-rounded. I'm not worried about you. If you had to think of something that you have learned from them, like let's say like one thing that you will forever keep with you, what would it be?
Is this something that I have learned from my sisters, that my MEP sisters?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it would be, let me think. I have learned a lot from them. I think that, especially with Grace, I could see we've only known each other for like 3 days, but we've really bonded, and I can see that
Yeah.
she's very kind. I
Yeah.
wish I had that. She's very kind and very patient. She always reminds me that things happen for a reason, because we've really connected on a very personal level. We've had so much in common. Things that happen. I don't know if I should say this, but when it comes to our love lives, we've had the same struggles, and she just said that yeah, these things happen for a reason, and we just have to understand that it's part of our growth, that we don't have to dwell on those things. We don't have to be mad about certain things that happened in the past. So I was like, yeah, oh my goodness, this girl, she's super kind. She has such a nice heart. And I'm just like, oh, how do I be like her?
I
So
know that
it's
Miss
just,
Grace is just amazing. She is such a sweetheart.
she
Oh,
is,
I got to
she,
meet her once. Like I did an interview with other bloggers, and this was back with the top 100 was announced. Like I was collaborating with some bloggers, and they were inviting a few girls at a time, and we had a chance to talk with Grace, and she was just amazing. And then I remember I posted something like a milestone for my channel, like I reached like I don't know whatever number, and she took the time to film a video of herself congratulating me. She sent me through my DMs, and I was like, can I share this on my
oh, she's
story?
really nice and thoughtful.
Yeah.
May I also share that, yeah, Ayin Bernos, she is a very lovely, wonderful woman. I mean, she is very humble, even if she's one of the most famous girls, but I can really see that she is authentic and she's very humble. And knowing that we kind of share the same cause,
Yes.
it's that is very close to my heart. I really look up to Ayin, and I can see that if I don't make it, as long as she makes it, that there will be someone to fight for our cause. I'm really, really proud of her.
Yes. Me too. I love Ayin as well. She's been just amazing this entire journey. Um, how would you say, if you had to kind of like summarize a little bit, how has the pageant challenged you on a personal level? Besides, all of the things that we have mentioned, right? The commitments that you had to do and the things that you had to compromise in order to be here today. How do you feel so far that it has changed you and shaped you as a person?
So far, the pageant has really challenged me mentally, emotionally, physically, and even financially. These kinds of things. But all in all, these things made me stronger. Before, I would, maybe if I didn't make it to this pageant, maybe I would crack with
Yeah.
that kind of pressure. And this has helped me unleash a side of me that I didn't know was there before. I didn't discover that I could be capable of so much more. I thought that I would only be able to handle this much, but then now it has been stretched to this much, all
Yes.
thanks to this pageant experience. So you would never really know what you're capable of until you are thrown into that situation. And that's the kind of strength that I got from joining Miss Universe Philippines. And I'm really so grateful.
Oh, I love that. You keep doing you. You're doing an amazing job. And of course, all of this, all of the hard work has been for a cause, which you have mentioned a little bit during the interview. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about your advocacy. So you are an advocate for inclusivity, right? Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about it?
Growing up, I've had self-esteem issues. I doubted that I was beautiful because I've been bullied a lot as a kid because of my dark skin.
Mhm.
And for those of you who don't know, I do have a birthmark here, as you can see. Yes, I'm gonna show it to you guys. And I used to be very insecure about it before. I remember looking forward to growing up when I was a child so I could get a procedure to have it removed. But right now, when I look at myself, I would say that I wouldn't have it any other way because my birthmark, my scars, my stretch marks, all my bruises, and my scars that I got from surfing and skating, they tell the story of Megan, of the Megan that you see now, the strong woman that she is.
Mhm.
And if I didn't have those, I don't think that I would still be me. I don't feel complete without all these. So I wouldn't have it any other way. And I wish to convey this message to all the young women and girls out there doubting themselves because of what the people around them are telling them. So if we can use a platform like pageantry to promote a cause like this for women to be more accepting of themselves, and not just for women, but for the communities out there, to not just be tolerant, but to be accepting and to embrace people for who they are. And so that we don't just look into one certain standard of beauty. Because as I said earlier, beauty is just a matter of opinion. People have different perceptions of what beauty is. It depends on what your culture is, what your upbringing,
Mhm.
and what you have experienced in life. So I just want everybody to see the uniqueness in everyone, and
Absolutely.
being inclusive is the way for us to go.
I love that. Honestly, I am so glad to see someone like you talking about these things because I know firsthand how much like representation, sometimes can have an impact. And the fact that you don't see yourself in ads or you don't see yourself represented in like the magazines or on TV, sometimes it can really, put you in a mindset that maybe you are not up to the
Yeah,
standard, which is completely untrue. And I love to see how someone who went through those struggles, can come on a national platform and talk about this so openly. It's so important because I always, when I ask these questions, I know that sometimes it's a little bit of a sensitive subject for some people, but when I ask these questions and I try to get you to talk of it on a personal level, it's because I think of the people watching us, right? They only they look up to the beauty queens, and sometimes the fans see you guys as like they see you girls as like goddesses, they want to
yeah,
be like you, they want to have like a platform like you. And it's good to see that it's not always like an easy path. Sometimes there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of accepting yourself, working with
yeah,
what you have and going against what everyone else might be telling you in order to
yes.
make it here and have the platform that you have. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Would you say, if you think of like of all the way and all the struggles that you had to endure to get to this point, are you able to point the precise moment where your mentality shifted and you went from being in a position where people were telling you, oh, you are not beautiful or the color of your skin this or that, to really embracing it and deciding, you know what, I like me for who I am, and I want to represent who I am.
I actually thought of that ever since I filled out my application form for Miss Universe Philippines because I had my doubts.
Yeah.
Before I used to think that in pageants they would um, accept the women who are almost perfect, and I am far away from that. I am well aware of my capabilities and my myself physically, of
Mhm.
who I am and what I am. But I really wanted to challenge that, to change that. I have always been thinking that, okay, these things need to change, but who else will change that if not me? If I just keep on saying that to myself without actually doing something to change that, then it's just going to be there. So
Mhm.
I tried my chances anyway, and so far it worked. And I hope that it would work for me later on. I mean, being here already means so much to me, whether I win the crown or not. Having been able to have this conversation, not just with you, but with a lot of people sharing what I am here for,
Yeah.
is already an achievement in itself. And that's one of the objectives of me joining this pageant. And yeah, to answer your question, at a point there was some point, yeah, I did. I think it's normal for for everybody to have bashers on the internet, and people will always have something to say, like, oh, she's not pretty, and why did she make it while other more beautiful girls weren't able to make it to the cut. And that's when I tried to say myself to myself that, yeah, this is what we are going to prove, that it's not just necessarily the physical beauty that you have to look at, because everybody is beautiful. Everyone who made it to top 100 was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I also have a story to tell and an advocacy to share through this platform.
I love that. Honestly, this is so important. And I'm so happy that you are being so open and sharing so much on behalf of my audience. I thank you. And thanks for, I mean, from my end as well, because I'm taking notes, girl. I always do. Every time I have an interview, I get my notes. I'm just like on the side, taking all the substance. Oh, this is so nice. In your opinion, what will be the best way to inspire people out there to be a little bit more inclusive or be a little bit more respectful of our differences, right? Because I mean, as humans being, we have differences, like from one country to another, mentality,
Yes.
religion, skin color, so many things. But we also have a lot of things in common. So how can we be a little bit more inclusive?
I think that the first step to inclusivity is accepting people, and also being respectful, because we all have different opinions, and we can always agree to disagree on some things. There are, for example, we have many different preferences on what we want to do with ourselves. Some girls are happy to change the way that they look, and there are some who are happy with the way that they are, and both are okay. It just go with whatever makes your heart happy, what makes you happy. And it's just important to respect all that. Respect is, I think, the key,
Mhm.
to see that everything, no, nothing is invalid. Do not invalidate people's beliefs and their expressions of themselves
Mhm.
and what they want. We just have to focus on one thing that we share in common, which is our humanity,
Mhm.
which enables us to be kind, to love, to be compassionate toward each other. And that is how we can become, when we have all that, everything falls into place, and how we can be inclusive regardless of if a person has some disabilities, or I don't know, whatever they are experiencing at the moment. We
Mhm.
can't just exclude people because they are going through something that you think isn't appropriate
Yeah.
for whatever it is you're having. So I'm just saying that in pageants, yeah, we can be more inclusive to girls, no matter how they look like, or if they have physical deformities, or if they are going through some kinds of conditions in their bodies. I've been very inspired. I've seen, I think it was in Miss Peru. I'm not sure what kind of pageant there was, but there is a girl that I really looked up to because she joined the pageant with a disability. I think she doesn't have hands, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And
I saw that.
that is very empowering to me. I really look up to her. And I think that is the way forward for pageants. If that organization is able to do that, then so can we. We can start to make this revolution of pageants around the world.
Exactly. Definitely. I agree with you. The key is just respect and, loving one another. We have a lot of things that sets us apart, differences, of course. And sometimes those things can be good too, because it puts you like it makes you unique in a certain way. But we also
Yeah.
have a lot in common, and those things will be celebrated because that's what brings us together. And especially now with the pandemic, everything that's going on,
Yeah.
to remember that we
Now
should be
more than
together.
ever, it's important to be kind, to spread positivity, because there's already so much hate and violence going on, and to be positive, to be uplifting to the people around us. It doesn't cost us anything. I
Yeah.
mean, it just, all the more, it gives us peace, and it brings a lot of joy to the people around us. So just, let's be kind, because it's for free.
Yes, exactly. It's for free. Claim it, everyone. I have one last question for you in order to close the
Yeah.
interview, to wrap it up. So I need you to look within yourself, look deep inside your soul, think of the essence of Megan, okay? During this interview, we talked about a few things: your experience as a person on a personal level, the challenges that you have faced so far during this competition, and also how you contribute to make a change in the world and make it a better place. So if you were given the chance to become the next Miss Universe Philippines, what will set you apart from previous winners?
Okay, that's a very nice question. One thing that will set me apart probably is my imperfections. I
Ah,
know that we've had very beautiful queens in the past,
mhm.
and there is no doubt that they all deserve to be where they were because of their beauty, not just physically, but also the entire woman that they are, the stories that they have to tell, their beautiful minds. But me, I am here for a change, maybe to show something unique and something different, to show that pageants have evolved into something that is more than just a beauty contest, and seeing beauty in different ways, seeing the diversity in beauty, and that I want to be the face of inclusivity in pageants.
I love that. Thank you so much for everything, for being so generous during the interview with your answers, with the way that you have presented to me, and just for everything that you've done. Um, I would like for everyone who is watching us right now, please go and show some love and some support on social media. Send her a message, like comments, likes, anything that you want. And of course, let's support her during her journey as well, since she's officially a part of the top 30. Megan, what can I tell you? I mean, my message for you personally is that you are stunning. Girl, you are beautiful. You are so amazing. And I hope that you never doubt that.
Oh,
You have what it takes to do extremely well in this competition. And I wanted to let you know that you have remarkable communication skills.
oh, thank you, Luis. Muchas gracias.
Un placer, realmente, cariño. You are so good. I honestly didn't even feel like this was an interview. Like it was just like conversation back and forth. Um, and yeah, just use what you have. You have a lot of soul as well, a very strong advocacy. So really take all of those elements and run away for the crown, girl. You can do it.
Thank you, Louise. It really means a lot to me to be invited by you and to be here talking to you. Like I'm just talking to a friend, no pressure at all. It's such
Yeah,
an amazing experience. And I hope I get to do this again with you soon,
of course.
hopefully.
Soon with the crown.
Hopefully.
Yes, perfect. So, and to everyone watching us, guys, thank you so much for joining us, for staying with us until the end. And
Yes.
I'll see you very soon with another episode of Extraordinary Talks. Until then, stay safe. Sending you all my kisses, mwah, my love. And I'll see you soon, everyone.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.